So check this out. This is Skittle Bingo. It is from Aurora and it is from 1973. I've managed to get it working. Let me show you what it's all about. Most people don't realize that Michael Richards from Seinfeld did some early work with this game. When I first tried this out, it was not working, so I realized I have to take it apart. To get this apart, you will have to remove this center sticker. I've clumsily removed the sticker kind of just by prying it off. There is a bolt here, and it looks like a 1/4 inch kind of hex. And now I'm going to take this apart to see what I have inside. Wheel piece, take that out. And then actually this just kind of comes out as well. This is what it looks like inside, and clear the motor. It looks okay, but it is not spinning. It's almost certainly just kind of frozen from not being used for 20, 30, 40 years. So I'm going to kind of take it out of here and try to get in there so I can spin it. Use the 1/4 inch hex wrench to remove that bolt, and this thing will now kind of come up. As you're pulling it out, this tab here has to come out from underneath here. So if it's sticking, just kind of pull it up like this. Turn it so we can see it a little bit better. This actually is on that spring. So I'm just gonna get in here and start spinning this thing as best I can. I've hooked up 2 batteries using neodymium magnets as a temporary battery box. I have them attached. That way as I spin that shaft, like that, hopefully at some point it will catch and it will start spinning on its own. Seems like it's working. I have oiled it with 3-in-1 oil at the shafts on both sides because it was very squeaky and noisy. Hopefully you can hear that. Put it back in and reassembled it. I did attach the springs as they're supposed to be. I made sure this thing was inside here. This tab was inside here. When I attach the battery here, I'm gonna have to push this back a little bit because otherwise this is rubbing against this and it's gonna prevent it from kind of turning very well. So there you can go. You can see that it is working. You hear that clicking sound? That clicking sound is because of this divot in the kind of the belt right here. That divot formed when it was sitting against the shaft of the motor for, again, decades. So every time it goes around, it kind of hits it and it clicks. Taking a tiny piece of paper, rolled it up a little bit. I'm gonna kind of fill in that gap and then put a piece of tape over it. Here's my incredibly makeshift repair. I used some copper tape. It was the right width, and I thought it might be a little bit more firm and stand up. Okay, you're gonna push it back and attach. Is it better? At least I want to think it's better. You could, again, spend more time with that, or better yet, get a new belt to eliminate that. But I think this will be functional, so I'm going to give it a try. There's a trick when you go to put this piece back in place. The motor is spinning this, which obviously spins this, and this rubs up against this. And when you go to put it in place, this is in the way. So underneath here, you have to pull this back when you're putting it in place. This is what it looks like underneath. I'm pulling back this tab to allow me to place that center ring. I'm lucky enough that I have a clean battery box, and so this should now work. And you can see it spinning. The cool thing about this is this part spins the opposite way. But if you just put it on right now, as is, and turn it on, it doesn't spin. But hopefully you should have this piece. And this is what makes the top spin in the opposite direction. Clicks into place here. And so you can see this is spinning that way, but if you watch the tires, they're actually spinning the opposite way. Bit of a close-up to show this better. I've put a red dot so you can see which way that's spinning. So again, this is going counterclockwise, and that's going counterclockwise too, but I don't know, it works, because now when I put this on, it spins the opposite way. I'm befuddled by the fact that they're both going counterclockwise, so you figure it out. The cards are all up badly, so I'm going to take them and glue them down so that I can actually play the game now. When I got this did not have the main ball, but fortunately, like most grown men, I have an extra Skittle game on hand, and so I was able to use the ball from this and attach it like this. This is working, though it's slightly warped. If you look here, it's basically almost scraping the table. Over here it's a lot higher. This should be a little bit more like this. It works, but this lip is dangerously close to this. So, but I've tried it and it works. There are a choice of bingo cards. These are a little bit different. The highest number is 8, so it's not the typical bingo card. And it comes with a bunch of bingo chips, markers, and every time a number is called, you mark it here. That way, at the end, when somebody calls bingo, you can make sure they didn't cheat. I'm going to try to get bingo on this. Excuse the vertical orientation, but it should allow you to see what's going on better. 2 size balls. Small ball goes first, and it ends up in one of the letters. Hit the large ball second, and that will go in one of the numbers. Turn it on. In general, you want to have some finesse with this. Okay, so that's a B. If you hit it too hard, you'll have a problem. So if I hit this hard, I'll see it went right through. I'll need to redo that one. B1. I don't have B1, but I marked B1 here. Try to get a B, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 8. So let's see if I can purposely get a B. So no luck, but I just keep going. So so came back, I go again. All right, so that is I8. Goes B. And no. G. G8. Not on my card. I'm gonna shoot for the B when the O is there. Oh, and I got the B, so maybe I learned something. The numbers, I think, are really probably hard to be too. I have B5. One thing about this bingo that's not the same as other bingos is you can get the same number twice. Need just one more. G6. B6. Bingo! Bingo! Read 'em and weep. Thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing, and remember, thumbs up never hurt nobody. You will subscribe. You will subscribe.